impeached Deputy President.
Small points.
Blow after blow, Rigathi Gachagua appeared as a man clutching at straws when the same three-judge bench ruled to lift the stay that will prevent Kithure Kindiki swearing in. Gachagua once again made a last-ditch effort, requesting the court to overturn its own order and allow him to appeal. His argument that Kindiki's appointment was marred by procedural irregularity and therefore should not proceed.
By way of a stay, albeit temporarily, of the orders that this court has issued. And we are not seeking these orders in eternity. We are moving into the appellate court once we have the ruling. Number two, my lord.
History will absolve the petitioners that we have brought to your attention that you have the duty to protect the constitution, that the person qualified should take over. I'll wait for the ruling. Finally,
many of the petitions had been overtaken by time, and if you look at our petition as amended, we actually raise concern about the process of election of the deputy president designate in our amended petition, and so it is quite in substance and whatnot.
One after another, Gachagua's legal team passionately addressed the bench, each lawyer presenting arguments, each hoping that this time their pleas might break through.
And you saw the first one, Bat versus Rent Tribunal. It is one of the most cited cases on the question of stay. And in that case, the Court of Appeal said, my lord, allow me to read, and then I'll sit down. There is no inconsistency in granting such an injunction, a Mother Pepper injunction, after dismissing the motion. The purpose of the order is to prevent the Court of Appeal's decision from being rendered nugatory, should that court reverse the High Court's decision.
But after a recess to consider the arguments, the bench returned with another devastating blow. Once again, it was a resounding no.
We further note that some of the arguments that have been raised on the floor will form substantive arguments at the main hearing of the petitions. In any case, since the Court of Appeal is already seized of the matter, as we have confirmed from both sides rather, the parties have an opportunity to move the Court of Appeal accordingly. As such, the applications are all hereby disallowed. Orders accordingly.
With each defeat, Gachagua's fight to remain in the political ring grows more tedious. This story of resistance may soon close, but for now, the battle he once championed seems all but lost. All right, from the corridors of justice to matters gender, the County Assembly's Forum has given the government, not matters gender rather, the County Assembly Forum has given the government 7 days to produce the missing Wajir County MCA Yusuf Hussein, failure to which county activities nationally will be paralyzed. Now, the MCAs who blame the government for the disappearance are also seeking to be assured of their safety as they go on with their business of serving the electorate. David Kagina now reports.
It's 49 days now since the disappearance of Wajir MCA Yusuf Hussein Abdi. The Dela Ward rep and House minority was reported to be abducted while riding a taxi in Nairobi by unknown persons. The reasons behind his abduction remain a mystery. The County Assembly's Forum has now given a 7-day ultimatum for the government to produce him, or all county activities will be paralyzed.
We are confident and convinced that Honorable Yusuf, an elected member of the County Assembly of Wajir for the ward of Dela and Anole, is being held captive by the government.
If Honorable Yusuf is not produced within 7 days from this date, all the county assemblies shall adjourn businesses in solidarity with Wajir County Assembly until the relevant authorities address this matter whereabouts.
The members are further calling on the government to assure the elected members of their safety as they execute their mandate.
We urge the government to prioritize the security of all members of County Assembly nationwide by reinforcing protective measures and establishing accountability mechanism for any acts of violence or intimidation. That a threat to one of us is a threat to all of us. Yes. Injustice in Wajir is injustice everywhere in the Republic of Kenya.
This comes in the wake of what appears to be a wave of abductions that followed the anti-finance bill protests which started in June, with pressure continuing to mount on the government from different quarters to bring to an end the arbitrary arrests, abductions and enforced disappearances. Kenya's own constitution and its national legislation set out the rights and fundamental freedoms to which each of its citizens are entitled. It establishes the Bill of Rights as the framework for its economic and social policies. Upholding human rights leads to stability and prosperity. Therefore, we note our concern over ongoing reports of arbitrary arrests and enforced disappearances despite High Court rulings. It is crucial to ensure the rule of law prevails and the ruling of the judiciary are followed. We note President Ruto's commitment that such incidents will not happen under his watch and that all individuals involved will be held accountable. Swift and transparent investigations will enable Kenya to demonstrate to the world its commitment to upholding rights as it takes up its seat on the United Nations Human Rights Council. End of quote.
The state in which the country is operating now, in which abductions and extrajudicial abductions and killing has become a norm, must come to an end. So we are fighting for the security of all Kenyans.
The Law Society of Kenya reiterates they will not relent in pushing for accountability.
To cases of gender-based violence and femicide. Now this follows a National Police Service report revealing that nearly 100 women lost their lives to femicide in the past 3 months. Gertrude Burgay with that report.
Report from the National Police Service reveals that at least 97 women have fallen victim to femicide and gender-based violence in the past 3 months. In response to this alarming trend, Chief Justice Martha Koome has now called on Kenyans to speak out and break the silence that enables these acts to go unchecked.
I call upon all law enforcement agencies in the justice sector, social services and civil society organizations to intensify our vigilance and protective measures. Police officers, community leaders, Nyumba Kumi organizations, and all of our citizens must join hands to work together to ensure that our girls and women are safe in their homes. They are safe in their schools. They are safe in their workplaces.
The State Department for Gender and Affirmative Action has further reiterated its commitment to work alongside law enforcement to implement swift measures to tackle the issue. During a stakeholder meeting advocating for women's justice, Gender Principal Secretary Anne Wangombe emphasized the critical role of community-based organizations in enhancing civic education to combat gender-based violence at the grassroots level.
Religious leaders. We know for sure that about 70% go to church or to mosques. And if there's one person who is believed, it is the priest or the preacher or the sheikh, I don't know what they are called, their word is law. It is the gospel truth. I'm asking them, spare at least 5 minutes only to address GBV and femicide.
The Principal Secretary also called on the government to allocate additional funding to the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, which supports women's groups within local communities.
At the State Department where I am, we have National Government Affirmative Action Fund. It is a saga. Money is channeled through that fund, which is meant to help groups of women come up with various, businesses and basically empowering women and groups, particularly the marginalized groups. I am sure you've had your women-leds in your counties assisting various groups. That money is from the government and it is meant for empowerment.
This push for increased support aligns with the gender experts' emphasis on the necessity of involving men in discussions about gender issues and femicide, recognizing their participation as crucial to effectively addressing these challenges. These developments pave the way for the upcoming 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, which aims to raise awareness and drive efforts to eliminate GBV across the society. Gertrude Burgay, K24 TV.
All right, that report by Gertrude Bugay takes us to a second break here on K24 Evening Edition. Do not go too far because we'll be back with more news.